So, trying to gather material for my comeback, right? I've been on a hiatus, just dealing with a few personal issues, just working hard in general. And I'm trying to think, should I come back with some 2XKO? Should I come back with some Avatar? Should I come back with some Tekken Talk? Just a whole bunch of things. And I came across this whole thing, and it just made me think back to when PlayStation 5 first released. They had a digital version and then they had a disc version, right? The digital version, you could only download games. It didn't have no disc drive. The disc drive version had everything encompassed, right? At that point there, it didn't really strike me as strange. I just thought, it is what it is. They're just giving us the choice. Now, it turns out that one, they've deleted most of the movies on their platform, and a lot of people are irate because of that. Why? Because now they realize that they were only buying the license to access the media. They didn't actually own the media themselves. But yet, that's the illusion that PlayStation sold them, because PlayStation basically made it seem as though you downloading that digital media, you own it, not you're downloading the license to access the media. And this is where I think the gaming is going now, because they've announced in 2028 they're going to stop all physical copies of the games. Everything's just going to be digital downloadable. So we're just going to read their statement that they briefly put. I will speak on a few things where I think it's BS, where I think it's just because at the end of the day, I think this is just greed. No one asks for this. No one wants this. I think consumers, whether you're a big corporation or you're just the average guy out there, I think everyone is in lockstep with this. We just don't want this. Give us the choice. If we want to be lazy, let us be lazy. If we want to actually have the physical copies, and the reason why I say lazy, right? Because when they gave you the PlayStation Store, it just took out a whole bunch of middleman activities where you would have to get dressed, you would have to get into your car or get a bus or get some sort of public transport to go to a gaming retail store to go buy your game and then come back with a physical copy, put it in. And at one point, especially with Amazon being out there as it is, you can also order them online, right? But yet you still order the physical copy. A lot of people want the physical copy. Once upon a time, with the physical copy came instructions inside. You had a little pamphlet, right? That it gives you all the. Sometimes before there was cheat codes in there. There was cheat codes that you could enter, right? And it will give you certain characteristics of the games that were otherwise locked to you, but it will give you move lists, it will give you player profiles, it will give you gaming synopsis, it will give you creators details, it will give you directions in which that corporation wants to go or other things that they might be doing. There will be advertisements in there, right? They took away the pamphlet. Now, when you buy the game, you no longer get the booklet. You no longer get the moves because one, you've got the tutorial modes now. Now you got practice. You can go in there and hone in your skills. Whereas before, your practice was basically you getting your friend around, going into a versus, and then just literally like beating the living out of each other, right? So slowly gaming has been changing. And when that changed, we didn't really look too much to it. We just thought, it is what it is. But now this is what they're basically like doubling down on. So it says physical disc production is ending in January 2028 for new games releasing on the PlayStation consoles. I don't know how we feel about that. No, I do. We don't like it. We don't want it. We never asked for it. We don't need it. And PlayStation just needs to chill. Like literally, you just need to chill. We don't. This is not something that was necessarily asked for, right? So, in response to shifting trends and consumer preferences, new games will be released on PlayStation Store and retailers in digital format only. I.e., when you go there and you buy the copy itself, you buy the game, all you're getting realistically is the package. You're not getting anything else. It's going to come with a digital code that then you can take online and go download the game. But what you're not realizing with that digital code, all it is just you're buying the licensing agreement to say, I'm downloading this game and I have access to this game. So you've given PlayStation money, but you don't actually own the game. This is what is significant. And a lot of people were missing before, including myself, right? Because there's some games that I've downloaded. I've got Injustice, the digital copy, and I've got the physical copy. Tekken 6, I've got the physical copy and the digital copy. The digital copy is on PlayStation and the physical copy is on Xbox. Tekken 7, I've got the digital and the physical copy on the PlayStation 5, right? Tekken 8, no, Tekken 8, that's exempt. But even on the PlayStation 4 was more or less exactly the same. PlayStation 3, I've got no, PlayStation 4, I've got the Mortal Kombat. I think it was Mortal Kombat X, if I'm not mistaken. I've got that on digital and physical copy. And it's just because I like these games, right? I want to have access to them. And the only reason why I bought the physical copies, right? Because you might be asking, you're wasted money. When you used to buy the physical copies, they'll give you that little square box that come with some sort of accessory, some sort of collector's item in there. I remember when I bought the collector's item of God of War. I think it was God of War 2 or God of War 3. I forgot which one, but it gave you the Chaos Blades. It gave you a little replica of the Chaos Blades, a little model. And I remember that was one of the reasons why you would buy the collector's edition or the physical copy, because the physical copy already cost as much as it cost anyway. So if you just spend a little bit more, you can get the collector's edition. And sometimes there was like metal cases that you will get with the game, right? It's got a whole bunch of information in there. It's got a whole bunch of things in there that you just loved. But slowly that started dwindling down. Now, if you want any kind of collector's edition or anything like that, you kind of have to go searching for it. It's not something that they make in mass produce anymore and leave it in gaming stores for those that actually want to go there and buy not just the physical copy, but the limited edition version, right? And I say that long tired to say, now they're taking away that option from you. When they give you the digital only, you're only going to own the license, right? Okay. As consumer preferences and entertainment or the broader entertainment industry continue to shift away from physical disc to digital, physical game disc production for all new games releasing on PlayStation consoles will be discontinued starting January 2028. Following the date, new games will be available on PlayStation Store and retailers in digital formats only. Again, you're just getting the case with a digital code inside. This transition has no impact in games that have already been basically released, right? Okay, cool. So what they basically mean is anything that they did before 2028 January, you'll still be able to play on your PlayStation if you have the disc version. But yet again, who's asking for this? Who is actually asking for this, right? And it won't have any effect on games that are released prior to January 2028. Again, like I basically just said, right? This is a natural direction for Sony Interactive Entertainment to adapt to consumer trends and general preferences for digital media, significantly outpacing physical discs. Okay, so what they're basically saying, we have a lot of in-game microtransactions now. Every game now has come with some in-game store where you can purchase certain things, you can buy certain things. So I think that is adding also to what they're looking at in terms of research and data to say, okay, there's a lot more interactions going on online. I think this is the natural transition for us, right? They're looking at all the microtransactions, they're looking at all the in-game purchases, and they're conflating a whole bunch of things. There's still the core gamers, and not only the core gamers, but even the casual people actually want physical games as well. Not everyone wants to just download something online. Now, I'm going to show you the reason why a lot of people that are serious gamers don't want to download online, because if your Wi-Fi goes down, and yes, that does happen. There's been a few times where I've been with BT, Virgin, and Sky. Sky use BT for their phone lines as well, but only for the actual phone line itself at one point. When it goes down and you're waiting for some sort of repair, you still want to be able to game. If you've got the physical copy, you can easily just put it in there and be able to access your game and play normally offline. It will blatantly tell you offline. Some games, right, they need the licensing for you to be able to play online. Even if it's under maintenance, it's going to stop you doing so, because all you have access to is the license agreement to let you know that you can access this game, not necessarily access the game itself, right? Or not necessarily own the game itself. So this is just one of those moves that don't need to happen. And me, honestly, I'm speculating, but I think they hired a consultancy firm. They come in and they said, oh yeah, you should do this because this is how the market is moving now. And PlayStation thought in their infinite wisdom, yeah, you know what, you're right. And I bet you any money they paid that consulting firm how much millions to do something so stupid. And listen, I'm sure there's people out there that want this. No problem. Hence why you give the choice. You can either get the physical or you can get the digital. It's entirely up to you. People just want the option. No one's right, no one's wrong, but just leave the option on the table to say, if this is the direction you want, if that's the direction you want, you both have the option to choose whatever you want to choose. But they're not doing that. Now they're just making it linear. They're making it one way fits all, and it doesn't. You understand? Again, I speak back to when we used to have the instructions inside the booklets, inside the cases, the booklets inside the cases that will show you gaming moves, that will show you cheat codes, that will show you little game codes that you can go online, enter in, and it will unlock certain parts of the game also for you. Listen, I'm an old gamer. I remember all these things, right? Cool. We'll continue to prioritize our resources and drive innovation in how players can access games and provide choices as to where, but you're not providing choices though. That's the problem. As to where players prefer to purchase new games. Okay, cool. Don't just give us choices as to where we want to purchase new games, but give us choices as to which version of the game we also want to purchase. That would be preferable to everyone. You understand? Whether that's retailers or PlayStation Store, we remain committed to delivering world-class gaming experience, but you're not delivering world-class gaming experience. You're delivering a gaming experience that you want us to have. You understand? And to me, that's not world-class. That is not world-class. You're restricting what we're able to do. Listen, maybe there's someone out there that can explain this to me as to why this is a good idea. And by all means, I will listen to you. And then I will explain to you why, me personally, I wouldn't go for this. You understand? World-class gaming experience to our fans. And we thank you for your continued support. Well, boy, if you go online and you look, I don't think people are actually supporting this move. People do not like this move whatsoever. I think there's more backlash to this announcement than anything else. And one of the main reasons, like I said before, is because they deleted a whole bunch of movies from their platform and people actually thought they owned those movies, but you didn't. What you didn't realize was all it was the licensing agreement for you to be able to access the media, regardless if you download it onto your console. You're not actually downloading the game or the movie itself. You're downloading access to that movie. And if they should delete it from their servers or wherever it was stored on their platform, you no longer have access to that. And this is basically what is happening right now. So I'm sorry, whoever decided that this was going to be the next step, I think that they're wrong in this. You know what I'm saying? And the backlash, rightfully so, is well deserved. Listen, what isn't well deserved or what isn't warranted is that, you know what? I'm not going to say that word. Is any kind of physical bodily threats to these people. Don't do that. Listen, voice your opinion, create a YouTube channel and just go on rants all day. Just talk about a whole bunch of stuff and it's all well and good and it's fine. Just don't threaten anyone to do anything personal to them. You can have your own personal thoughts of whatever you would like to do, but just don't act on those. Don't do them. Don't even think about it. Like, please, if you ain't got no impulse control, this realistically isn't for you. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I think Sony are making a big mistake here. I think there's going to be more backlash over the coming years, over the coming days, over the coming weeks, coming months, coming years, right? If they do not reverse this decision. And if I'm not mistaken already, I think, again, like I said, there's already been, I think, Domino's, Rockstar, and a few other people that have already said, yeah, this isn't something we want. This isn't something, so please, like, really consider your decisions. Otherwise, we might have to consider also where we are going to be represented. And it is what it is. Battle lines are being drawn. I think Sony will reverse this decision. I honestly do believe they will reverse this decision. And if they don't, they just only need to look at Xbox, how Xbox is fading away to obscurity right now. They only need to just look at Xbox because Xbox doesn't necessarily cater to its fans either. You understand? It's always going to have its core audience, but there's not enough of them to actually push the kind of units they need in order to continue the Xbox legacy. They don't have that. And Xbox at one point was competing with PlayStation. But again, One bad decision led to another bad decision, led to another bad decision. And what do you know? Where is Xbox now? So PlayStation, by all means, continue doing what you're doing. It's fine for you. Continue doing what you're doing. If this is what you feel you want to do, it is what it is. But when the consequences start actually coming, please do not don't say, oh yeah, the gaming industry is dead. No. The gaming industry isn't dead, literally. And this actually leaves the door open for someone else to develop something that can actually cater to what people actually want and see how quickly they take over the market. Will it happen? Who knows? PlayStation is way too popular, and I understand all of that. But then again, with the decision now that they're making, who knows? Who knows? They could be sabotaging themselves, but it is what it is at the end of the day. Listen, thank you very much for sitting in with this. These are just my thoughts, right? These are just my thoughts. By all means, feel free to disagree in the comments. Feel free to say and educate. Let's have a conversation about it, but be respectful at the same time. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to disrespect anyone, and I'm not here to listen to disrespect. And again, like, share, subscribe. We'll speak again. We'll speak again very soon.